Hello, this is Greg Galson Green Griggs coming to you on the 14th of November 21. Time on deck is 22:05 hours Central Standard Time. Is World War III about to get started in Europe? And in fact, will it actually start with Belarus and Poland? Mind you, at this moment, there are 100,000 Russian troops on the Ukrainian border, estimated by U.S. intelligence. 100,000, that is more than in the previous little crisis that we had with them a few months back, when some of those troops apparently pulled back. Well, now they're back in place, the special forces. So a lot of people are concerned about an invasion of Russia into Ukraine, but that's not the only hotspot, and maybe not the most imminent hotspot, because Belarus is boiling. It is cooking. And the whole world is now looking at what may happen there. So let's get into that. Before we do, I'm going to say, if watch my channel, this is part of my Eyes Wide Open, the Head on the series, Head on Swivel series, to bring you the idea that you need to prep. You need to get ready for these hard times that may be in front of us. We may be facing things beyond your imagination in terms of warfare and other things. I hope that don't come to pass, but it's a very strong possibility, and you need to get prepared for yourself and your family. And with that in mind, we do have a special here on Green Griggs. If you go to prepwithgreg.com, prepwithgreg.com, you can get $100 off a very lightweight, easy to store system where you can get 6 of these buckets, which make up for a 3-month supply of food that lasts you 25 years. You get breakfast, lunch, and dinner, 2,000 calories a day. That'll make you a winner. A lot of these companies only offer you 800 calories per day in their so-called survival menus, which is far from enough. So the good thing is this is freeze dried. That is why this is lightweight. This is 2 weeks supply for one person, and yet a baby could almost carry it. I mean, it is lightweight and very storable in these nice buckets with beautiful pouches inside that you can put in your backpack and carry around. 4 servings as opposed to a big can that you might get 2 servings out of. Yeah, it needs water, but I got a video on how to prepare your water, how to sanitize and purify and sanitize, which are 2 different things, Dave. Just your water. All right. Subscribe to my channel, bang the notification bell, and click off, because I'll bring you a lot of videos about how to actually eat free from the weeds and the trees. If when you say it, you'll understand you need some of this too. And this will be a good investment with inflation coming at us, my friends. All right. So I also have videos on gardening, but I bring you a lot of these videos in my Eyes Wide Open, Head on a Swivel series, so that you know what's coming at us, so we know what we're dealing with. And this is coming a little bit out of left field to a lot of our radars, what's going on with Belarus. And Belarus, the president, Alexander Lukashenko, he got elected under a very controversial election recently. And, you know, he's had the 7th election, I think, 7th term. And it was deemed to be very, very suspicious. Not only that, he turned around then and squashed protesters. A lot of people in this country were not happy with that. And he absolutely cracked down real harsh on the protesters, which brought up the ire of the European community, the European Union. European nations sanctioned Belarus because of that. And Belarus, as a response to that, has done a couple things. One of them is he has threatened to shut down the gas pipeline to Europe. This gas pipeline, the Yamal gas pipeline, supplies gas to Germany and Poland, and a little bit in the rest of Europe, but mainly Germany and Poland. And you know, these countries could be freezing in this winter coming up without that gas. And so this is almost like an act of war. Well, you know, you really shouldn't be dependent on your potential adversaries, your potential enemies, for your lifeline of supplies. Duh. Hello, those that are using China. So you need to be very wary of being dependent on those who would like to eat you for your life sustenance. Yeah, that's like being a chicken in a chicken house, right? There you go. Oh yeah, you get fed, you get watered up until the day to go. So and it may be the day to go. Yeah, this is serious, guys. It really is. And there's a lot of tragedy here, because not only are they talking about shutting down the gas pipeline, here's the real tragedy. They have moved thousands of immigrants who have fled war-torn countries and the Middle East into Belarus. And it's been claimed by the European, both the Belarusian government and Russia were behind this. They have flown thousands of these people into their country, promised them new opportunities, and then just dumped them on the border of Poland with no food or supplies, no provisions. Except it's recently been suggested that yesterday, last night, that they were suddenly given a lot of weapons, a lot of firepower. You see, this is getting concerning. These people are desperate. And it's a human tragedy because it includes, even disabled people, women and children are there. And they're hungry. They're starving. A few of them have tents. They're cutting down trees on the border to make bonfires to heat themselves. And they're also using those trees to try to get across the fences and borders into Poland. Well, Poland sees this as a weaponized migrant movement. In fact, the entire European Union sees that, all the European countries. And they are really concerned about this to the point that Poland has deployed 15,000 troops on the border to stop this. Well, it gets deeper. Lukashenko has actually called for and asked for Russian Escalating nuclear capable missiles to be deployed in Poland. He's requested that. And on top of that, now Russia has kind of sort of disavowed this thing about shutting down the gas pipeline and acting like they're mad at Lukashenko, but they're using their troops. They just put paratroopers on the border, Russian paratroopers on the border with Belarus, on the Belarusian side with Poland. And Russia's been flying 2 of their nuclear capable bombers, White Swans. They've been flying these things around the border of Belarus and Poland and even into UK airspace. So imagine that. So this is not a pretty picture. So there's a lot of threatening and a lot of posturing, and we're going to go into that. We're going to go all into this. But so let me show you some articles here, guys. Let me open up some articles so we can see them. Ding, ding, ding. Hang on. Here we go. I don't want to start there. We'll start over here. Too many ads in these thinking British tabloid things. Crashes my computer sometimes. There's so many. I got 4 tabs open and it'll crash my computer if I'm not careful. Even tonight, just these tabs. Look here. Lukashenko wants Russian nukes. Putin trying to play it down. Okay. So I'm serious. This is Lukashenko, Alexander Lukashenko, the Presidente of Belarus. Used to be known as Yellow Russia at one time. And here is the missiles he is requesting. These are theater nuclear weapons capable of striking into Europe. Now, whether they want to use conventional or not is yet to be seen. Oh yeah, by the way, those bombers that they sent up were being escorted by Belarusian fighters. So it's obvious that they are collaborating. We can see several of the countries that are coming into play here in this potential conflict. This could be World War III. We could be on the verge of World War III, starting in Europe. We thought it was starting the Straits of Taiwan, right? This thing, let me click over here. And look, Poland prepares for attack tonight and fears a major assault as thousands gather. And I was talking about these weaponized migrants. They've actually been given weapons, and they're used as weapons. They're used as pawns, unfortunately, in a conflict between 2 greater war nations. It's a human tragedy that they're put in that condition in the first place. Should never have happened. But that's not all that's cooking, guys. This is not all that's cooking. Look here. World War III fears. U.S. warns allies that Russia could be invading Ukraine as the tensions in the region go to a boil. Again, 100,000 troops on the Ukrainian border. Yeah, see, the Kremlin had warned us earlier about about NATO warships in the Black Sea. Well, the Black Sea is freedom of navigation, my friends. Like I said, I'm not getting too close to maybe Crimea, but there we are. Clashing skies. Britain intercepts Putin's nuke bombers over North Sea as tensions erupt. See, guys, this is getting this is getting intense. There's other articles here. We're not going to go into them all. We're just going to look at a little bit here. I'm going to get out of here as soon as Zoom lets me click on the tab. I won't click on Zoom and fights my attempt to use the tabs to show you other articles. British troops prepare for immediate deployment in Ukraine amid a Russian invasion. So guys, this is just 600 troops right now. It's not a major force, but it could be more because the British and Europeans are pledging support both to the Ukraine. Let me stop this here. Both to the Ukraine and to Poland. Poland is a NATO member nation, by the way. Poland is a member of NATO. If they get attacked, we go support them. NATO does, and we're part of NATO. Not only that, our Secretary of State, Blinken, interesting name for an official. You know, we used to say somebody was a Blinken, haha, yeah, you know what I mean? And now we have a Secretary of State called Blinken. You know, so he's pledging support of the Ukraine. Now, what that means is yet to be seen. Are we going to get into a war with Russia over the Ukraine? Ukraine's not a NATO member, and Ukraine has, you know, got its piece of picking this fight. But you know, Ukraine is on the verge of being invaded. It could happen. We thought it might happen several months ago. And then again, it might not. But why is Russia putting all these troops on board of Ukraine? Is it some psychological tension? They put them there, put them back, put them there, put them back, put them there, put them back, and one day going in. Is this the time they're going in? I can't say. I can't say. What will that prompt? What will happen? What will we do? How will we get drawn into this? With Blinken making pledges like that, it could very well happen. That may be the intention of the administration, along with the military. They may decide just to go in and support Ukraine. A conflict with Russia would be very, very frightening right now. Russia has some immense capabilities that could really wipe us out. So we have to play this one very carefully, especially just not to do it. But then again, Poland is a NATO member. We are treaty obliged to defend them if they get into it with Russia and Belarus. How far could this escalate? It's anybody's guess. Maybe it won't. And hope and pray that it won't. Maybe this is the time that prayer is the best thing you can do. Aside from prepping, get ready, be prepared. Guys, with all the inflation going on right now, with the supply chains breaking down, and I gotta say this, guys, we're in trouble next year for food supplies because of the soaring cost of natural gas, which is the primary ingredient to making these artificial fertilizers the big farmers use. They say that nitrogen is in a great shortage, and nitrogen is the most prevalent element in the atmosphere, 70%. Yet making it into a fuel usable, a fertilizer usable compound seems to be a wholly different matter. You know, we like the nitrogen to fix some plants. And the aquaponics system that I like to show. My first video on this channel is on aquaponics, and I'll have more on it in the future. I'm rebuilding or having to rework my aquaponics system right now. It's the nitrogen cycle. It's the key cycle in that they're making plants grow. So nitrogen is important for farmers, and plants need it. So if they can't get it, they're saying there's shortages, not just price increases, but shortages. So this year, I came on and told you that this food issue, that the issue with food on the shelves in the grocery store and food prices wasn't because of the farmer. It was because of breakdown in the supply chain. Next year, may be a wholly different matter. We may not have the food grown. Grow your own food. Check my link to True Leaf Market below. Get your seeds, prepare yourself, grow your food, learn how to do the wild foraging, watching my videos on that. Yeah, go buy those cans of beans and stuff, but I tell you what, you really better buy some dried beans, some dried rice, and above all, you know, check out my link. Go to prepwithgreg.com, because that's the food that gets you through for a long time, and it's going to be a great investment in the future, given what prices are going to do. Food can last you 25 years. Very good. Okay, but pray. Just get ready. Have a plan with your family what to do if this should go down. Watch my video on nuclear bug out, my bug out videos. You'll find those on my channel. Just go into the video section where that little hourglass looking thing is, and type in nuclear, and you'll probably find a nuclear bug out, those kind of things. And you'll find my bug out videos. It's got important, especially the nuclear. It's got some very important information to safeguard you should we be in a conflict that goes radioactive. I don't think any other prepper's got a better video out there than that one. So check it out. But, you know, have a comm plan, have a defense plan, have a plan to get your family together, maybe a rendezvous point. Because, you know, look, if we get into war with Russia or China or North Korea, the first thing they're going to do is take down our power grid. Oh, and I got another video to come up soon talking about drone attacks on the power grid. A whole nother spectrum for taking a grid down. It's just come to light. Guys, our grid is our Achilles heel in this nation. It's our weak link. And I've been fighting for years, 2 power grid defense conferences I chair, to try to get this fixed. I've been in this fight for over 6 years now. So, but you know, the powers that be, you know, want to drag their feet on the power grid side, on the industry side. So you can work with me on that. There's a lot of things we can do. If our power grid was secure, we'd be a whole lot better off facing what we got to face. With that, I'm going to say thank you for watching. Take care. God bless. And I always tell everybody around you, you love them, especially your family and kids. You never know when you got the last chance. So I always tell people you love that you love them frequently, often, so they know it. And, you know, with all the hate in the world, domestically, internationally, remember this too. There's good people everywhere, in every country, in Belarus, in Russia. I've been to Russia. I love Russia. I like going to Moscow. I love that city. A lot of nice people there. You'd find the same from China, mainland China. You know, I got a good friend from Guangdong. Invited me to come over and stay. I don't think I'll be, the country's closed now. And, you know, Xi Jinping might decide to keep me if I went there. But there's good people in every village, hamlet, and speaking every language, every race, color, creed, and religion in the world. There's good and bad everywhere you go. So just remember that. Don't be so judgmental. This is what my final advice is. As light dispels darkness, love dispels hate. Go out and shine your love light in the world. Hopefully we can turn this world around before it is burnt to the ground. Let's do it. We get ready, prep, just in case. Because right now, the prospects are looking pretty darn bleak. Why? Potential war between Belarus and Poland, Russia and the Ukraine, China hitting Taiwan, hitting Japan, maybe in the Philippines. So China has really been rattling this. So we have China, India, Pakistan, India. You know, even the war between Pakistan and India could do so much damage to our ozone layer and create a mini nuclear winter that we would have massive crop failure around the world. And especially with the ozone damage, it could really damage your health. We don't need that. And then there's Iran, Israel, Iran, US, Iran. Yeah, there's too many hot spots. Oh, North Korea. North Korea. Don't forget them. They would not want to be forgotten. Sorry there. Yeah, they would not want to be forgotten, Willie Kim. All right, guys. We live in interesting times, but I have the hope that we'll get through it and the faith that in the end we win. And with that, I'm going to say God bless. And I wish everybody the best. Take care of your own, though. Take care of yourselves. Prep, get ready. Grow a garden, too. And with that, I'm going to say goodbye.